What it do, vinyl community? Welcome to the Fluffy Records YouTube channel. My name is Brian, that's Brian. Today I decided to shoot a Fresh Off the Platter video. This is now Fresh Off the Platter number 12. Yes, folks, no, Fresh Off the Platter number 12. Last time I did a Fresh Off the Platter video had been a month ago now from what I've seen on my YouTube channel. And honestly, I haven't been doing these Fresh Off the Platter videos because I haven't been buying records online. Now, before I get started and showing these records, um, there is a thing that I wanted to say, and the thing is, everyone who's been watching the videos and supporting the channel, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate you guys who have stuck around, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. And I hope that you guys continue to support. Um, you guys are real ones, and to those who are watching who are brand new, hopefully you guys stick around. But back to this, Fresh Off the Platter. For those who don't know what Fresh Off the Platter is, it's basically a combination of my vinyl finds and my mail time videos. Now, I haven't been doing any mail times because, like I said, I haven't been buying records online as of recent. So, there's only one record that I purchased online a few weeks back. And of course, if it isn't obvious enough already, Fresh Off the platter meaning the turntable, records that I've brand new records that I've purchased online or in the stores locally, I've recently spun. So here is these records. I have a stack for you guys to show today. So let's get right into it. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you guys the more recent stuff. So recently, or rather like 2 weeks ago now, I went to Record Safari's 3rd anniversary since its opening. There were a lot of people there, and I got to meet some folks from the vinyl community. Uh, Record Safari, a place that I don't normally go to, but they had some great deals that day, and I picked up 2 records, courtesy to these fine folks from the vinyl community. Starting off with John Moreno. Can't remember his handle. I think it's something like DJ John Moreno or something like that. Shout outs to him. Got to meet the guy. Awesome fella. He and the other guy that I'm going to be talking about after were very kind. They handed me some records for me to check out if I was interested in purchasing them. But man, these guys are great. So starting off with John Moreno, he handed me this record right here. This is Mandrill Solid by the group Mandrill. Yes, Mandrill as in the primate. So John handed me a few records actually while we were all there, and he was always telling me like, "Oh man, this record is great. This record is great. This record is awesome." It's like, "Oh wow, okay, I'm gonna be." He handed me this one very last, and he was like, "I think you're gonna like this," and I was like, "All right, sick. I'm gonna be, streaming it." So I streamed it, and man, I was really digging this. So this is Mandrill 1975 Solid. This is a funk record, and it is so funky. This group that I feel like I've heard of previously and have just overlooked is has this like element of Latin and jazz and soul. This is a great record from 1975 on United Artists, and I believe there's 2 brothers. Uh, there there's like yeah, 2 brothers who I think they're originally from Panama, moved to New York at an early age. Um, Started this group, and man, this is awesome. So got this one for $10, which I think is a good deal. And when I spun this one for the first time, sounded magnificent. Again, this is on the United Artist Records on this label, which I don't think I've ever seen this label. So label variant rather. Of course, I know United Artists because of jazz. Again, thank you, John. Very awesome guy from the vinyl community based in LA, or at least here in California. He, I think he said he recognized me from the live streams that we join. But yeah, I mean, this is some great stuff. Solid Mandrill or Mandrill Solid album. Side two on of this album is kick ass. So thank you again, John. Been enjoying this one. Next guy that I saw that I was very excited to meet because for the longest time, well, not longest time, for some time now, been saying like I'll probably meet him, and it just never happens. But it finally happened because of this anniversary that the store was doing. So Rob the Wax finally got to meet him. Very awesome guy. When I went, he had a huge stack of records for me to check out for if I wanted it or not. Oh my god, there was some great stuff. But well, the day I went, I only brought like $30. So decided to pick up only one record from the stack. Uh, I got this one for $2, and this is on Riverside. This is Winston Kelly, Kelly Blue, Riverside. Can't remember what year this was put out. Probably 1958, maybe. Could be wrong. But look at that. Got this one for $2. I didn't even look at any Discogs price while I was there. I was just looking at what I might have already owned or what like just caught my eye. But this one, Winston Kelly, and the lineup too. So here we have Nat Adderley on cornet, Bobby Jasper on flute, Benny Golson tenor sax, Wynton Kelly on piano, Paul Chambers on bass, Jimmy Cobb on drums. 1959. So I was off by a year, but this rocks. This is an awesome record. Uh, Coincidentally, they play a rendition of Green Dolphin Street, which is like anytime I listen to anyone play Green Dolphin Street is always the best. But I looked at the Discogs for this, and surprisingly, this one goes for some dough. Granted, this is a more or less a G to G plus disc. It does have some marks. It does have some light scratches, I would say. So there is some noise for this, but it is a nice deep groove copy for $2. I can't complain. And again, Rob, thank you so much for making making me a pile because he showed up earlier than I did. I didn't think. Well, I didn't. I knew there would be a line, but I didn't think how big the line would get. So again, thank you to both John and Rob the Wax for the awesome recommendations at Record Safari. So those were the two pickups from that day. I'm gonna be showing you guys what I picked up probably 3 weeks ago now. So let's get right to it. Okay, so before I get to the Amoeba finds, I'm going to be showing you guys three pickups from a record store that I hardly ever go to. Like I barely go to this store, but for some reason I decided to stop by. I think it was because Amoeba was still not open, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop by, not be there for long, but just check out what they have. So I picked up three records from there. Let me start off with the first fail. Actually, there was only one fail. The rest were fine, but the first one, all three of them paid $15 for. First one was another, I guess, first pressing find that of a record that I already have. This is Coltrane Jazz. Picked this one up for $15. I should have brought out my other copy, but found a deep groove at the store, and yeah, I ran out of inner sleeves for right now, so stuck with the generic inner sleeves. So Coltrane Jazz, this was what 1962 probably or 61. I always forget the dates for this period of Coltrane, but this is some great stuff. Who do we have here? Coltrane on soprano and tenor sax, McCoy Tyner on piano, Steve Davis on bass, Elvin Jones on drums, and then we also have Wynton Kelly on piano for another session that he did with that Coltrane did. Paul Chambers on bass, Jimmy Cobb on drums. So different lineups here, because there were different sessions. But this is great. Again, $15. And for $15 on an original pressing, this was sort of a fail because I could have sworn the first time that I spun this, there was no issue. But the second time that I spun this, I I sensed a repeated skip. So maybe I can get rid of that. But for now, I know that there's a repeated skip on side 2. Well, I'm showing side 1. So at side 2 right here on probably track 2. But I'm going to see if I can fix that. If not, it's alright because I already own a non-deep groove copy. These Atlantic don't really sound the best to begin with, so I'm not that mad. You know, I knew like I was going to not be blown away with this pressing sonically. Again, my other copy that I have is probably from the same plates, but it was nice to see a deep groove copy of this, which of a record that goes for some. I think it goes for over 50 or around $70 for a clean copy, but I'm gonna see what I do with this one. For now, I have it, and yeah. Here's another record where I thought would be an epic fail, but I managed to fix it. Been collecting mode records or records, jazz records on the mode label. This is one that I'm happy to keep in the collection. This is Herbie Harper Sextet. This record rocks. I'm always impressed with the lineups that this label uh, had, and man, for when I spun this the first time, I was scared because I think it was side 2 actually. Again, with the side 2s, side 2 had an issue where there was again a repeated skip, but I was able to find where the repeated skip was, so I used the toothpick method. Didn't work, and so I was like, okay, maybe the wet clean method might work, and so I wet cleaned it, spun it again, and it fixed. So I now have a pretty good copy of this record. This is how it came out on this label, and yeah, pretty darn great. Okay, so the last record that I picked up at that shop was actually surprisingly, I didn't even know they had a small jazz wall, and I looked at it and I saw a record that I've been wanting for a while now, and I'm happy that I live in a spot where there you can find a ton of promotional uh records, and so I've been having good luck finding promo copies on this label for jazz. So this is a reprise title, and this is Barney Kessel. This is Barney Kessel's Contemporary Latin Rhythms on reprise, and as you can see right there, it is a promotional copy. Really, really nice. If you dig Latin music, that's what this is. And this is one that I actually bought for. There we go. Okay. This is one that I bought for. Maybe I didn't pay 15. I think I paid a little bit more. I think this was 19. But not that bad condition wise. Like jacket for the jacket. The record's clean. Very nice. I like that they played Lady Bird. That's one of my favorites. And the personnel, might as well just show you guys right here. You guys can pause and look at the thing right there. But yeah, when was this put out? I don't know, 1963 maybe? Could be wrong, but Barney Kessel, I really dig Barney Kessel. Like, he's one of the first jazz guitarists that I discovered. You might be surprised by that because some people might think that I discovered Kenny Burrell first, but no, Barney Kessel was like one of the earlier ones before Barney Kessel for me. And yeah, look at that white label promo, and it is very, very clean. Very happy that out of the 3 records that I picked up at that shop, this was the cleanest ones. the cleaner ones, and it should be right because it was a wall record too. So very happy about that. Um I saw a lot of great stuff there, but condition wise, it was not the best. So I was like, you know what? I know for a fact that I'm gonna spend most of my money at Amoeba, and I did. So this is what I'm gonna be showing you guys from my Amoeba pickups. Stay tuned. I've been wanting more Beach Boys records, and actually, I've asked some people in the vinyl community if what pressings you guys, for those who listen to Beach Boys, would you guys recommend? And I added this one on my list, and I don't know, maybe a month later, found this record. So finally found a copy of the Beach Boys, or rather, Carl and the Passions Twofer, which has the Beach Boys Pet Sounds record. So some people might say this is like the best sounding Beach Boys or Pet Sounds record. I've seen on the forums that some people agree with that. Some people enjoy like the SACD version. Some people prefer an original stereo. Some people prefer the DCC version. I've seen so many different opinions. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys have a favorite pressing of Pet Sounds, because honestly, this is the only copy I've ever bought of the album. I had been tempted for years now to buy the Analog Productions pressing that they put out for Pet Sounds, but I just never had the time, or yeah, just never had the time to do it. But yeah, I didn't buy the record for Carl and the Passions. I bought it for the Pet Sounds um, disc. So I got this one for, I think it was like $22. Not bad, right? And it's pretty darn clean. Um, it is mono, so that's nice. I'm not sure how much it sounds, how different it sounds compared to the stereo. Um, but this sounds pretty darn cool. Like I was impressed with how this one sounded. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even bother spinning the Carl and the Passions because I wanted to just spin the stuff that someday I'll spin this disc. But for now, I only bought this darn thing for Pet Sound. So yeah, I'm very happy to find a copy for cheap. I want to say cheap. But yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys have this one. So moving forward, I did another record that, well, actually, I've had previously owned this record, and I stupidly sold it when I was purging my records a few years back because I thought that I was giving up on vinyl. But anyways, this is one of the ones that I sold, and had been wanting a copy more recently this year, and I finally found one. And surprisingly, the store that I got those three records from, the one that I hardly ever go to, they had a copy for I think like $40. I was like, okay, if I don't find a copy at Amoeba, I'll probably come back and pick that one up. Thank you, Amoeba, because I think I saved myself $10 or 20 extra bucks. Um, because I found a copy of Johnny Cash's At Folsom Prison, and this one is in the shrink with a hype sticker. Not hype sticker, a price sticker. This I stupidly sold. You guys might be like, "Oh, I'm glad you sold that, but why would you buy it again?" But this is one of my favorite recordings. Um, I just love this era of Johnny Cash, and I noticed that there. Actually, I don't know who put it out. Um, but there was a reissue out there. I think it was during Record Store Day, where they did the complete Folsom Prison um sets. I am interested in buying the complete At Folsom Prison, But this is how it originally came out. 19, what was this? Gosh, for me to be a huge fan of this album, I'm gonna have to search it up now because big noob mistake, right? But let me tell you, when I saw this at the very, very back of the bin, I was like my eyes just like shined. I was so happy. So this is 1968. 1968 was when this one was put out, and it is on that 2i Columbia. Boom, super clean. It looks like it's been never played, but this is the one. Honestly, I don't even know if this is the one to get. I think, like, in terms of pressing wise, let me know down in the comments what's the superior pressing of Folsom Prison. I just wanted a copy, and I'm glad that I found a 2i Columbia, but I would be interested to know, like, what is the definitive version of this record? Because if there's something that sounds so much better than this, I would be more than interested. Like I said, I'm already interested in buying the an old record store day Folsom Prison record. So yeah, that is the non-jazz stuff. I'm gonna rapid fire these next few because I'm noticing that I'm yapping. So okay, so a few videos ago I showed Barney Kessel the poll winners, the first poll winners record from the group, and at the time I think I had 3 of the 5. When I went back to Amoeba, I found another one, not another poll winners first record, but I found another one that was missing, and now I have it. So this is the poll winners. What is this called? Exploring the Scene. They do a rendition of "So What" that I think sounds pretty darn neat, as well as Ornette Coleman's "The Blessing." I absolutely love that song, "The Blessing" by Ornette Coleman, which I believe is played in his Something Else album, not to be confused with Cannonball Adderley's Something Else on Blue Note. This Something Else by Ornette Coleman was put out on Contemporary, which, by the way, this one is also on Contemporary, but this is on that black stereo um, label. So very, very clean, and just I love this black label stereo. It's one of those where I like the mono look and the stereo look, but I can't pick, you know, I can't pick one or the other. They're both great. If you see one for a good price, which I paid $10 for, pick it up. This sounds excellent. Next one, I was surprised that I didn't have this in my collection and saw a copy for. Do I still have the price tag? I think I paid like $17 for this, and maybe not. Maybe I paid less, but this is on Verve. I believe this is the first pressing. This is Side by Side, Duke Ellington and Johnny Hodges. I don't have enough records with Johnny Hodges, but he is an excellent saxophone player. Of course, with Duke Ellington, phenomenal piano player, a legend. And yeah, it's on that Verve label. Very, very swinging. I had only heard this one a couple times. Wasn't that familiar with it, but when I saw this, I was like, I have to grab this because I have seen this more recently online, and it's great. So if you guys see it for a good price, pick this one up. Okay, next one. I recognize this uh the album jacket when I saw this, and I remember I was like, oh my god, I believe I put this one on my want list like a few years back, and I did. I had to double check on it when I was there at Amoeba, and yeah, it turned out that I was familiar with this record, or at least not the music, but the record itself, like the actual jacket. But this is on Delmark. This is Richard Abrams, Level and Degrees of Light. Yeah, this is 1969, I believe. Again, on that Delmark label. Um, Very interesting music. I believe side two, if I remember correctly, side two starts off with like, I don't know, maybe it seems like forever. Uh, but there's some spoken word that goes on for, I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes, maybe longer. It kind of felt like forever, but uh, yeah. Then there's some killer jazz. There's a good lineup here, but I'm gonna just show you guys. You guys can pause the video. That is the lineup right there, and I paid, I believe I paid only $22 for this, surprisingly. Um, I looked this up on Discogs and it goes for a bit more, but I'm happy that Amoeba had it for cheap, and I've been wanting this. Like I said, I had this on my um I had this on my want list for some time, and surprisingly, this is my first Delmark record in my collection. So I can show you guys the label there. Kind of interesting. Um, and yeah, speaking of first time owning a record on a label, or on a new label for me at least, um, this is the first time I bought a record on the Soul Note, right? Soul Note, yeah, Soul Note label. And honestly, this was a blind buy, but I recognize Paul Motion on here. This is 1980. Actually, I can't remember. 1989? No, 1984. Had to double check on that. I knew it was in the 80s, but I forgot what year exactly. But 1984 on Soul Note. This is Tim Byrne, Mutant Vibration? No, Variations. Tim Byrne, Mutant Variations on Soul Note. Again, blind bought this because for Paul Motion. Paid $17 for this. Yeah. For some reason that day there was a lot of records for that price, but this is I believe the first Italian pressing. I don't think this was put out in the States. I could be wrong, but bought this because of Paul Motion, and Paul Motion is awesome on here. And the rest of the players. I mean, what? How would I describe the music on here? I don't. Some of it is free jazz, but some of it is more, I don't know, like maybe post bop, hard bop kind of deal going here. A little bit of free jazz, like for a little bit, like I'm for like, I don't know, maybe a minute for of a song of the song, one of the songs rather. But yeah, I picked this one. I dig it, and I gotta check out Soul Note more, uh, more of what they have. But let me show you guys. Pretty darn clean, if not really, really clean. Soul Note label. Yeah, so nice to have this in my collection. And let me show you guys the last two records before I end this video. So I was I was so hyped when I found this in the bins. I cannot tell you. I've been wanting this record for some time now, and I believe Verve by Request put this one out. But I found like I said earlier, being lucky to be in this city to find, all these promos. I found a white label promo of this Impulse Jazz title. This is AS9219, Pharoah Sanders, Black Unity. Found a white label promo for $50. And the jacket is a little bit worn. I mean, surprisingly, there's Braille on here. So whoever the previous owner was, must have had all their records in Braille, but with some Braille. But very, very happy. As soon as I saw this in the bin, I snatched it right away. This is one that I've been wanting for some time now. And yeah, super, super happy. Look at that right there. Who's on here? Pharoah Sanders, Norman Connors, Lawrence Killian, Stanley Clark, Joseph Bonner. Um, some great stuff. There's only 3 tracks on here, I believe. Or maybe just Black Unity Part 1, Black Unity Part 2. Yeah, okay, so there's only two songs on here. That's the Black Unity. But this disc looks pretty darn clean. And it's a white label promo. And for $50, I was like, yeah, I don't mind paying $50 for this. I think online, uh, finding finding a regular copy goes for about the same. So yeah, happy, happy, happy to find this in the wild again. Just that adrenaline of finding these records in the wild instead of just I could have bought this, I don't know, some time ago now if I wanted to. If I really wanted this, I could have just bought it, but I told myself I'll probably find this one in the wild and bam. Okay, so this last one is the one that I purchased online, but the seller was is I which I didn't know at the time. The seller was based here in LA, so I bought the record and he texted me, well he messaged me on eBay and told me, "Hey, I noticed that you're local here. Can I stop by and just drop this off to you?" I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, that'd be awesome." So that happened. And the record that we're talking about is on Strata East. Man, I haven't bought a Strata East before buying this one. I hadn't bought one in so long, or at least it feels like it's been so long. So I was very, very hyped to buy this one for a good price. And shout outs to Jasmine's Mike, who actually dropped the link to this in the Discord. So if it hadn't been for him, I probably wouldn't have noticed this on eBay. But I got this one right here, Composers Workshop Ensemble. This is a 1972 original pressing on Strata East, and it features a number of musicians on here. One of the ones that I recognize is Johnny Coles, Julius Watkins, who plays French horn, but the rest are here. You guys can look at the players. Man, this is one that I honestly wasn't expecting it to sound the way it sounds, both musically and sonically. So musically, it sounds great. First of all, but it was just a surprise. It was just a surprise because 1972 on Strata East, I figured it would, I don't know, just be avant-garde or free jazz style, but no, instead it's more of like, again, like a hard bop style. I mean, you hear a lot of the brass more than the tenor sax or the baritone sax, the reeds. But yeah, it's mostly brass instruments on here, aside from the rhythm section. Sonically, not my favorite, surprisingly, which was I was disappointed. Sonically, doesn't sound best. And considering that it is a pretty darn clean record, I mean, there's like no scratches, and it's on Strata East. Yeah, I'm still happy that I picked this one up. It the seller was asking for less for what it goes for, so I'm happy in the end. Even though sonically it's not my favorite, musically And for it being a Strata title or a Strata East title, interesting for me. But yeah, that is it for this not vinyl finds video. I was gonna say vinyl finds video, but it's a fresh off the platter video. That is it for the fresh off the platter video. If you guys stuck around, thank you guys so much as always. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, comment down below what you guys thought about the, you know, the the little stack that I showed in today's video. If you guys own any of these, if you guys have any of these in your want list, literally anything, comment down in the comments below. And yeah, again, thank you guys so much for supporting. And to those who are new, I hope you guys stick around. And of course, the usuals, hope you guys stick around. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Take care.